Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Cambridge Maths. Today we are going to solve a question from Probability and Statistics 1. This particular question belongs to paper 9709/51 for the session October November 24. And we are going to solve question number 6. Let's read the question number 6. The heights of the female students at Breven College are normally distributed. 90% of the female students have heights less than 182.7 centimeter. 40% of the female students have heights less than 162.5 centimeter. Find the mean and the standard deviation of the heights of the female students at Breven College. Well, already in the question they have disclosed that it's a normal distribution. The question is based on normal distribution. So let's start our solution. As they have told, our question is based on normal distribution. So x belongs to normal distribution. And what are the parameters of normal distribution? We know that the parameters of a normal distribution are mean as well as variance. And we are writing variance using sigma square. So sigma can be supposed to be the standard deviation, and square of standard deviation is the variance. Well, let's write the first probability. Probability of x less than, look at this, height is less than 182.7. So x less than 182.7, and the probability of this height is 0.90. Well, then we will have to standardize the score. If we standardize the score, z less than 182.7, 182.7 minus mu over standard deviation. Standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Variance is sigma square, so standard deviation will be only sigma equal to 0.90. This is the probability. Well, after that, if we observe the question, look at this, probability is 0.9. Let me show you this through a figure. Look at this. Suppose this one is our normal distribution graph. Okay, on this one, look at this. This is, yes, this is the mean line, and probability left to this line is zero point 0.5, and right side of this mean line is also 0.5. Now look at this, they have told our probability is 0.9. So 0.9 means it's will be over here. This portion is 0.9, isn't it? So let us write here, it is zero point 0.9. Probability is going to be 0.9. This portion must be 0.9. I mean left portion. How, which portion? This portion. Okay. Yes, this part is the probability of 0.9. So what does it mean? That our z score stands over here. This is our z score. What is the z score? Z score is 182.7 minus mu. So let us write here 182.7, 182.7 minus mu over standard deviation or sigma. So this part is the probability of zero point 0.9. Okay. Now from here, what do we know? That z score, as z score is lying on the right side of 0, here z score must be positive. It is lying to the right of origin line or mean line, so surely our z score is positive. Okay, so our z score is going to be positive here. Probability of probability of z is definitely now positive. Well, now for this probability we will have to find out the corresponding z score. For this we will have to use our normal distribution function table. Let's move on to that one. Let us take the image of normal distribution function on a different page over here. Okay, normal distribution function. From the gallery, it is an image of normal, this one. Okay, so if we look at the lower part of this table, we will find there are some probability given for corresponding z-score. Look at this. If we look at the bottom part of this normal distribution table, here it is written probability is given what, 90. When probability is 90, this is the probability given, and for this corresponding probability the corresponding z-score is 1.282. I think you have understood how to find the probability. At the bottom of the page they have given some specific probability and corresponding z-score. So if our probability is zero point 0.9, once again I am showing, look at this, here our probability is 0.9, probability is 0.9, so our z-score is going to be, this is our probability and this is corresponding z-score. So what is our z-score? Our z-score is 1.282. Let us insert this 1.282. So our z-score is 1.282. Okay, so 1.282, 1.282. Already we have decided that this z-score is lying on the right side of mean line, so surely it is positive. There is no scope of being negative. Equal to 0.90. Okay, then if we compare the coefficient, it is going to be hence 182.7. Let me zoom it out. Yes, so 182.7 minus mu over sigma is equal to 1.282. Now if we make sigma as subject, it is going to be sigma is equal to 1.82.7 minus mu over 1 over 1.282. We may leave these as equation number 1 because we should not forget that we are going to find two values simultaneously, mean as well as standard deviation. As there are two values missing, we'll have to form two equations and we'll have to solve them simultaneously. Well, what is the next scenario? Next scenario says, look at this. After zooming it out, the second probability is given. Look, 40% of the female students have height less than 162.5. So one more equation can be formed. Probability of, let me change the ink. Okay, probability of x less than how much, 162.5, 162.5. The probability is 0.4. 40% means 0.4. Now if we standardize the score, probability of z less than, how to standardize, 162.5 minus mu over standard deviation, which is square root of variance, equal to 0.4. Okay, once again I am showing, look at this. They have told that height is less than 162.5 and probability is 40% means zero point 0.4. So we have written that Z score is 162.5 minus mu over standard deviation is equal to zero point 0.4. Now for this we will have to draw a diagram. Okay, let us draw the normal graph for this information. Suppose this is our normal graph and here it is mean line 0, standard deviation is 0, and they have told our probability is zero point 0.4 and it is left side. Look at this. Suppose zero point 0.4 is over here, zero point 0.4, sorry, this is point, this portion is zero point 0.4 because here our z score is lying left side is our probability. Look at this, here the symbol is less than, so left side is our probability and our z score is what? Our z score is 162.5 minus mu 162.5 minus mu over standard deviation. And will we be surprised if it is written as negative symbol? Look, as this is lying on the left side of the origin or mean line, so definitely it is negative, isn't it? And our probability for this corresponding z score is point, this is our probability which is 0.4. Okay, well, then if this is our probability, it is 0.4. What about the probability on the right side? If this is 0.4, this portion should be 0.6, isn't it? Will you agree with me that this probability must be zero point 0.6, because total probability we know that this probability is 0.6. This portion is 0.6. Now look at this. What have we learned from this figure? That first of all, z score is lying on the left side because our probability is a small part, 0.4. So 0.4, as here there is 0.5. Here at the middle, the probability is 0.5. Here is zero point 0.5. So left side is 0.5. Now our probability is 0.5 is not necessary even. I think I can erase this so that you can avoid the confusion. Simply total probability is 1. So if this small part is zero point 0.4, definitely right side is 0.6. But our z score is over here, and one thing is very sure that our z score is negative because it is lying on the left side of 0. Hence we can write probability of our z score is negative, so less than negative something. Now for this probability we are going to find the corresponding z score. Well, for that again we will go back to our normal distribution table because I find it comfortable to use the normal distribution function table. So our probability is 0.4. Okay, how to find 0.4? Let us take the image over here. Yes, it is normal distribution table. Yes, our probability was 0.4. We have not forgotten that our probability was 0.4. So let's see where is 0.4 located. Look at this. Sometimes, sorry, 0.6. We have made a mistake because let me go to that page once again. This is the page we are writing. Look at this. We have seen and observed that zero point 0.4 is the tiny part lying on the left side. 0.6 is the larger part. Always the probability is given more than 0.5. So whenever a probability is given less than 0.5, we will opt for the greater part. So greater part, probability of the greater part is zero point 0.6. Already we have seen from this graph. And z-score must not be changed. Z-score will remain as it is, just as the normal distribution graph is symmetrical, so we can find the probability of the greater part. So probability is zero point 0.6. Here we are going to find zero point 0.6 is the probability. For zero point 0.6, what is the corresponding z-score? And z-score, if we change from left to right, right to left, the symbol may be changed, but we have already seen that z-score is lying on the left side, that's why it's negative. And none of the probability given in the probability distribution table is less than, look at this, it has been started from zero point 0.5. If you see, look, the first probability is what, zero point 0.5. So all the probabilities are larger than zero point 0.5. That's why we have chosen that the greater part, I mean zero point 0.6 is our probability. Now let's see zero point 0.6. Let's see whether there is zero point 0.6 or not. 55375596, sorry, 5987. Look, this is the closest probability. We cannot find, sometimes we may not find exact probability, but we can choose the closest probability. Okay, so closest probability is this one. For this, corresponding z-score is going to be this one. This one is the closest probability, I mean z-score, and column, fifth column. Okay, third row, fifth column. And our requirement is, our probability is 0.60, I mean zero point 0.6 or 600, whatever. So for this we'll have to add up something so that we get closer and in the closest part. So we can add up this 12 even. If we add up this 12, 87 plus 12 is 99. So 5.999, which is the closest of all values of 6 as probability. So what is our z-score, corresponding z-score for probability of zero point 0.6? Our closest z-score is 0.2, 5 and 3. So our corresponding z-score for probability of 6 is 0.25 and 3. And we are going to substitute these values, 0.253. So it is 0.253, 0.253, and surely it is negative because already we have explained that it is, the z-score is lying on the left side, that's why it's negative, equal to 0.4. Now if we isolate, I mean if we form an equation 162.5, this is also z-score, that one is also z-score, so they must be equal to each other, minus mu over sigma is equal to point, sorry, is equal to, is equal to negative 0.253. So if we isolate our sigma, sigma is equal to, sigma is equal to 162.5, 162.5. No, as both of them are having the negative symbol, so let's multiply each of the symbols. So it is going to be mu minus 162.5, 162.5 over 0.253, 0.253, 0.25 as well as 3. And this is equation number 2. We have already explained that as there are two values to be obtained, so there will be two equations, and now we are going to solve the equations simultaneously. Okay, so from equation 1 and 2 we can write here, from equation 1 and 2, Okay, from equation 1 and 2, let me write over here. From equation 1 and 2 and 2. What is the left side of both the equations? If we look at this, in equation 1 left side is sigma, in equation 2 also left side is sigma. That means right side must be equal. So right side of the first equation is 182.7. It is 182. Let me show both the equations simultaneously. Okay, first equation was 182.7 minus mu over 1.282 equal to the second equations, right side of the second equation is mu minus 162.5, mu minus 162.5 over 0.253. If we do cross multiplication, what is it going to be? 182.7 into 0.253 minus 0.253 mu, 0.253 mu equal to 1.282 mu minus 1.282 into 162.5. Okay, so in the next step it is going to be, if we isolate our mu on the left side, if we bring our mu on the left side, what is it going to be? 0.253 mu on the left side. So both the mu's are getting negative symbol. Okay, let us see here 253.253, here 1.282. So 282 and 253, it is going to be 1.535 mu is equal to, let me zoom it out. What is it going to be? If we multiply 182.7 into 0.253, it is, both of them are going to be negative. Actually this one is negative. So let us do multiplication. 182.7 into, yes, 182. Forty-six point 2231, 46.2231, 231. Okay, then if we multiply the other two quantities, that is 1.8282, 1.282 into 162.5. Well, so we are multiplying 1.282 into 162.5. So let us go to the calculator. 162.5. 162.5. 208.325. So 208.325. Well, then our mu is going to be, mu is equal to, both of them are having each of the symbols are negative, so there is no necessity of negative symbol. If we resolve the symbols, it is going to be 46.2231 46.2231 plus the other quantity is 208.325. If it is divided by 1.535, okay, now we will have to add up this two quantity and divide it by mu. So let us use our calculator. Hence mu is equal to, hence mu is going to be, okay, let me use my calculator. 46.2231 plus 208.325 over 1.535 equal to 165.83. So if we round it up to three significant figures, it is going to be 8. So that is one of the answers. Okay, so we have already got the mean value, which is 165.8, and we are going to find the standard deviation. Standard deviation has been written using sigma. Okay, so let us write here sigma is equal to, what was sigma equal to? Any of the equation can be used. Look at this, here are the equations. We can use the first equation, this one. Which one is the smaller one? This one can be used. Let's take the first equation. First equation was 182.7 minus mu. Okay, so let me zoom it out. It is 182.7 minus mu, 182.7 minus mu. Mu has already been obtained as 165.829, 829 or 83, whatever you write, 83, using two significant figures after decimal, I mean using two places after decimal is sufficient, over 1.282, 1.282. Hence our sigma is going to be, let us do the calculation. Our sigma is going to be, okay, 182.7 minus, let us use our calculator. 182. 13 point, so it is just 13.2, which is our final and the second answer. Let me erase this and rewrite this. Well, 13.2, which is the final as well as the second answer of this question. So I think you have understood. As per my clarification, there have been two equations, simultaneous equations, because they have given two probabilities. So we have standardized the score, and you know how to do that. Last of all, we have found the z-score. One of the z-score is lying on the left side, which has been negative, and the first one was positive because it was lying on the, this z-score is positive because it is lying on the right side, whereas this z-score is negative because it is lying on the left side of 0. And whenever we find corresponding z-score, always we will choose for the greater probability, not the smaller one, because I have shown that in the normal distribution table all the probabilities start from 5, so at least it will be 0.5. So for that reason we have chosen the greater probability. So if zero point 0.4 is smaller probability, so greater part is greater region is 0.6, and we have found the corresponding z-score for the probability of 0.6. And whenever an exact probability is not available in the normal distribution table, then we opt for the closest and maximum accurate one. The most accurate one was, it might not be the exactly same. Let me show you once again. We have, yes, we have chosen, it is closest to 0.6. Yes, this one, it was 0.5987 and 12, so 0.59 and almost close to 6. So this is how you can do the solution. Well, it's time to move on to the immediate next question. That question is on the next page. Yes. It says 10 female students are chosen at random from those at Breven College. Find the probability that fewer than 8 of these 10 students have heights more than 162.5 centimeter. So first of all, we will have to pick up the information of this one. Look, height is more than 162.5. Let us see what is the probability of this score. More than 162.5. What does the information say? It is written, let me erase first of all. If we erase this, look, they have given us that less than 162.5 probability is 40%. But the question told more than 162.5, so definitely probability is going to be, the remaining probability means 60%. Look, 40% of the students have heights less than, so definitely 60% of the heights, 60% of the students have height more than 162.5, because our question asked for more than, so our probability is going to be reversal, it's 60%. Then we will decide the concept. Okay, what is the concept we are going to apply in this case? Look at this, the total number of experiment is given. Total number of student is what? 10. Total number of student is 10. Total number of experiment has been given and probability is also given. Probability p is equal to, we have already seen, it's 0.60. So q is going to be, I mean, not the height less than 162.5 is going to be 0.4. Okay, so these are the information we can extract from this question. And as the total number of experiment is given and each probability of each of them is individually given, so it belongs to binomial distribution. So we can start writing x belongs to binomial distribution. Remember, when the total number of experiment as well as probability of individual experiment is given, then the distribution belong to binomial distribution. Okay, so for binomial distribution, the parameters are total number, I mean n, and p, individual p. Probability of individual experiment is 0.60. Well, then they have told us to find the probability when fewer than 8 of these two, fewer than 8. So x less than 8. So what does x less than 8 mean? X less than 8 means until 7 students, not 8 students, until 7 students. So if we want to find the corresponding probability of 7 students one after the other, then we will have to find the probability of 1 student, 2 students, 3 students, and until 7 students it's a little bit longer. So in the reversal way, if we change our viewpoint, we will find the total probability. Total probability is 1. From 1, if we find the probability of remaining students, that means less than 8 students means up to 7 students, probably we should find the probability of the first 7 students. So in reversal way, if we subtract the probability of the next 3 students from whole of the probability, we will get our required probability. So less than 8 means equal up to 7 students. That means if we subtract the probability of 3 students, like when probability of the number of student is going to be 8, if we subtract, they have told us to find the probability of the first 7 students, and we are subtracting the probability of 8 students, 9 students, and 10 students. Probability of when x is 9 students, and probability of 10 students, probability of 10 students. I think you have got my point, that if you individually calculate the probability of 7 students, 1 until 7, it is a little bit lengthier. So for a shortcut method, what we do, we will subtract the probability of 8 students, 9 students, and 10 students from whole of the probability, means 1. Then we will get the probability of the first 7 students. Well, then how to write this? We are going to write 1 minus 8 out of 10. So 10 choose 8 students. Probability is 0.6. How many times? 8 times. Probability of 8 students. And the Q, then the probability of raised to is 0.42 times. Minus 10 choose 9. 10 choose 9. So probability of 9 students, that is 6, 9 times, and probability of 1 students, left one is 0.4, that is once. Last of all, 10 choose 10, or let me write just beside that after zooming it out. Yes, the next part is, oh, I think it's not necessary to zoom out even. Okay, minus 10 out of 10. 10 choose 10. 10 students, probability of 10 students is 0.6 raised to 10, and there is no student whose height is more than 162.5. It is 0.40. Well, this is what our scenario is. Then we are going to write the next step. Our next step is, Well, what is our next step going to be? Yes, equal to 1 minus, you can use the calculator for easy and short and quick method, but I feel comfortable writing it manually. 10 into 9 factorial into 8 factorial, 10 into 9 into 8 factorial, and that is 8 factorial and 2 factorial into zero point 0.6, how many times? Zero point 0.6 8 times, and zero point 0.4 2 times, minus 10 choose 9 is actually 10, yet I am going to show you 10 into 9 factorial over 1 into 9 factorial. 1 factorial means 1, and 10 choose 10 is actually 1, yet I am showing 10 factorial over, sorry, we didn't write the probability. So probability of 9 students, so zero point 0.6 raised to 9 and zero point 0.4 raised to 1 minus 10 choose 10 means 10 factorial over 10 factorial, which is 1 actually, 0 0.6 raised to 10, and 0 0.4 raised to 0 means 1, so it's all unnecessary. After that, if we simplify, what is it going to be? Okay, let us do simplification. 1 minus, so 8 factorial and 8 factorial, they can dissolve each other. There remains 2. 2 factorial means 2, so 90, it's 45. 45 into zero point 0.6 raised to 8 times, and 0.4 2 times. After that, 9 factorials can be dissolved by each other, so it's 10. 10 into 10 into zero point 0.6 9 times, and 0.4 once. 0.4 once minus 10 factorial 10 means it's 1, so it's simply 0.6 raised to 10. Now let us use our calculator for finding this probability. Go for the calculator. So our step is 1 minus 45 into 1 minus 45 into point 0.833 equal to 0.833 is our final answer. And I have tried my level best to explain to the best of my knowledge, and I expect that you have understood as much as I have clarified. And may Allah bless whole of the humanity with their beneficial knowledge, so that the whole world become a peaceful place to live in and to love and respect others. So thank you all for having patience, for being with me. Fi amanillah.